Hi, I'm Vickie Gray, and this is Paul Reeves.
Hi.
And we'd like to talk to you about BootCamp.
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 Wow. That's the old name.
Aha, all
Aha.
right.
Yeah. But it's still a good name. The originators of this material, the collectors of all the best practices of teams around the world, originally called it BootCamp because of the notion that what was happening for each of the team members was that they were in effect booting new software for their head. And in fact, their original book on the material that Jim and Michele McCarthy wrote was called Software for Your Head. So the notion came from the concept of booting a new operating system into your head.
So why do we need a new operating system?
Well, that's a really good question. But before we get there, I prefer to call it at this point something that you and I have learned recently based on the science of human systems dynamics, that it's really what we're providing are simple rules and tools for people who wish to build a great team experience, and a lasting way of maintaining that experience. So I think the notion that it's based on simple rules and tools, as we've come to call it now, is really, really important.
Yeah.
That's not to say one name is better than the other. The beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But for me personally, I think that tells a better story. And quite often people ask us, what is this event? What is this process? What is this experience?
How often have we gotten that question?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a very difficult one to describe in the sense that it's an experience.
Right.
So the experience that you have, the experience that I have, the experience that every single person has been through this in the last 15 years has had, we could probably say each one of those experiences has been different. There's been lots of similarities, there's been lots of similar learnings, similar insights, and so on. But because it's based on how we act as individuals, our behaviors, and our ways to think about team interaction, human interaction, team dynamics, whatever words you want to use, because it's based on those principles, then everybody sees it a different way. Everybody has a different experience. And I know for certain that, your experience, my experience particularly, has been that every single time we've been through the 5 days that we call boot camp, or the simple rules and tools of great teams, it's been a different experience for us indeed.
Yes.
And I think one of the reasons for that is that the material itself is so rich, it's so deep, there's so much depth and breadth to it that it's very difficult to appreciate at any one given experience just how deep this material is. Because for me personally, I believe it gets at the very fundamentals, the very foundation of how we interact with each other and how we talk with each other, how we deal with conflict, how we make decisions, how we express ideas, how we support each other, there's so much opportunity there to learn, so much opportunity there to practice, that every experience becomes different.